Hi, I'm Papa with Parody Marketing. Today we'll be doing exponents and surds. Now, like I said, we are doing the grade 11 textbook from an exam's point of view. Now, since we have covered a few questions from an exam, I'm gonna then start off explaining some of the laws that you need to know and the rules that needs to be adhered to when you are doing algebra, because ultimately this is algebra. So let's carry right along. The first thing is that if you need help with mathematics and an accounting, please do not hesitate to contact us on WhatsApp, or please send your questions and comments to my Gmail, papa@gmail.com, or YouTube, any comments. Now, the first thing we are going to do is exponents, the laws of exponents. The first rule of exponents is that, rule number one, when bases are the same, you should always add the exponents. Now, as you can see what I've done there, so p to the power of 5 times p to the power of 2 is equals to p to the power of 7, because you have added the exponents. Now let's go to law 2. For law 2, it's division. It's no longer multiplication, but it's the same principle. Bases are still the same. So you have p to the power of x divided by p to the power of y. That becomes your p to the power of x minus y. So as you can see, the inverse or the contrasting relationship between the two. And for an example, you will then have your p to the power of 5 divided by p to the power of 2. That becomes your p to the power of 3, right? Now, I'll give you an example which you can then start applying these laws on. So the example, now try this one, which is 5 raised to the power of 2x plus 1, right? Multiplied by 3 raised to the power of 2x plus, or rather minus 3, right? All that over 15 to the power of 2x. So that's what you need to do as your question to test if you understand the laws above. Now let's move on to the other set of laws, where you get your, now what if the exponent is the one that is the same? So now you have a case where your exponent is the same. So your p to the power of x times q to the power of x. Remember, you can work them backwards, forwards, any way you want. So they become p times q to the power of x, right? So moving on to the fourth law. Again, we are looking at a case where a division is applied. So now you have your p to the power of x equal over q to the power of x. Now this becomes your p over q, all that divided by x, right? So, and again, other important laws that you need to note are that p, for example, to the power of naught, or any number to the power of naught is 1, right? Anything to the power of 0 is 1. So you can also use your p to the power of negative x, where now you have to use a fraction where you have your 1 over p to the power of x being positive. So that's another law that you need to note as we are doing your textbook from an exam's point of view. So 1 to the power of p is the same as 1. So any now 1 to the power of a million is 1, right? So once you have done that, please consider this if you need help with mathematics and accounting, contact us on WhatsApp or call 0761988075. Please also send your questions and comments to papa@gmail.com, papa.mkabel@gmail.com, as well as my channel is always there for you to comment on. So let's carry right along. Like I said, for any help regarding maths and accounting, I'm here for you. And now we are going to look at the rules of Surds, right? So when it comes to the rules of Surds, always note that if you have the cube square root of p, or right, let me say p is the square root where x is in the square root, that's the same as x to the power of 1 over p, right? Where x is greater than or equals to naught, always note where this is the case, it is irrational, right? Where x will be irrational, will be an irrational number. Now we'll look at the other rules of Surds again. Some will say Surds, it's fine, there's no master of pronunciation. Say you have now a fraction in your square root. You can always separate your square roots, right? And have your fraction with split square roots. So now we're carrying right along where you have again a case where the root is the same, which is p. Now you multiply the square roots in this case and you keep the p. And those now are your rules for Surds, right? Or Surds, as I'd like to call them. We are going to do a few questions after this. Few exam type questions, and I'm going to show you where you applied which rule or law. And thank you for following our channel. Hopefully this is helping you become a better mathematician.